Al, we're going to talk about the Force 14 with the dual high-performance motors. It's our newest product at Sandia. We're really excited about it. I was going to suggest you demo it for us, but Frank van der Ven was at the ISSA show in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and he did one heck of a job. He's pretty passionate about it, isn't he?
He absolutely is.
He's our top engineer on this product, and just does a great job showing you all the benefits and features and why this by far is the greatest dual motor upright value in the industry today. So take it away, Frank.
I would say number one asset of this machine is basically the way how the cord is connected to the machine. 70–80% of the failures of vacuum cleaners are cord related. So it means that the power cord is not functioning or the wall outlet is not functioning, and people think the machine is dead. Let's say that 70–80% of the failures of vacuum cleaners. Now, this machine has what we call a green lighted switch, and you see the green light is on this moment. The machine is not running, but the green light is on. It means that the machine has power. Suppose the green light would be dark, like this now. So the green light is now dark. Now, the green light is dark, so it means that there is somewhere a failure in your power cord. It's very easy. You take out this thing, you take out this cord, out of what you call the restraint. You take it out. It's a 5-minute job, and you don't need an electrician. So, basically, if you look to operating cost of machine, you have purchase cost and operating cost of machine. You have always to tell your customer both things, basically, because otherwise they compare apples to apples, but later on they want to buy a new cord, which in some of the machines costing $50, $60, $70. In this case, it only costs the replacement of the cord, which you just can FedEx them out, or you can ship them on another way. So what I'm trying to say to you, there's this what we call our machines with what we call detachable cords. And you know there is a failure because your light is dark. Now, you don't need at this moment the green light to hear the machine running, because still the decibels of machines, vacuum cleaners, are still louder as you want to have them. So the function we have given to this green light basically is just a sensor if the cord is working yes or no. So that's start with the unit as a number one, let's say, feature. This machine, let's say, is as a base, which I will go through it, is a copy of the base of a Windsor Versomatic unit. So if you would take the base of this unit and you open it, and you open the base of a Windsor Versomatic unit, they are identical. So it means they have an identical belt and they have an identical brush strip. What are the differences? The difference is, if I turn this unit upside down for a moment, that here you have what we call stainless steel brush protectors. Why stainless steel? You have rubbing on the carpet. Now, if you have what we call galvanized or plated steel, at a certain moment the plating will go off, and then what you get is potential corrosion or rust onto these protectors, which you don't want, because there are certain parts of your country you have what we call entrance matting. You have salt in the winter. Now, that is going to create rust into your unit, and you don't want to have rust on your carpet because that's very difficult to remove out of carpet fibers. Now, that's the reason why we are putting as much stainless as we can into our unit. So this unit has what we call two stainless steel, let's say, brush protectors. Another issue is that people are driving around the units to get to the work. These casters are ball bearing casters. So it means that we didn't go with a steel shaft and just put a caster on, we put ball bearings in it, sealed ball bearings. So it means that you can travel a lot of times with the unit and you will not have what you call a squeaky sound. Normally, when you get wear and tear on your casters, you get more or less play, plus you get a sound which you don't want to hear, and that's what we call a squeak sound. Now, we are working in an environment where we have a lot of dirt and a lot of dust, let's say, so this kind of casters can take that. For the rest, the casters are what we call non-marking, and you can use them on all kind of floors, bare floors or carpet floors. Turn it around, the height adjustment of the unit has 4 positions, 1 to 4, is exactly the same as it is on the Versomatic. Exactly the same place, exactly the same system. This door, where you can open, let's say, you can slide out this brush strip. Exactly the same situation with a Windsor Versomatic, no difference. Brush roll, exactly the same way as a Windsor Versomatic. Where are the differences? The difference is the cleaning path. With this unit, we have one straight line going like this. Now, what it does for you? Uprights have the tendency to clog. Because why? You go from a wide mouth to a smaller mouth, and you have to transport all the dirt at once into your channel. Now, how more curves you make, how more difficult it is for you to do that. So we went from this path to a straight path. If you would have a clog, do you need to disassemble the unit? No is the answer. And why? Because if you take now this unit, you can put the unit on this way, take this out, and it means that on this way is one straight pass. I can take a pencil, I can do simply this, and then I can clean out the neck. So I don't need to disassemble anything to do that. Just very simple, because this is your straight line. If you would look to a Windsor unit, you cannot do this, what I'm now doing, because they have a curved line. You cannot get this pen into a curved line, or a pencil, or whatever you have, or a screwdriver, or whatever you have handy. This can, you only have this, you can do this, and the thing is clean, because you have one straight pass going up.
Save time, save money.
Correct. So that's about the cleaning path. Now, I took out this wand. You have an ergonomic handle to hold it. But, what do you have? You are the only unit on the market who have a telescopic wand. What does it do for you? Now, if you want to reach down, you don't want to bend. So you can stand straight up. There's no bending. If this wand is a certain length, you always need to bend. Whatever you figure out. If you want to go in that corner, you just can reach into that corner. Because you cannot make your arms longer. But we are making the wand longer. The only unit on the market who have what we call telescopic wand. You have the handle, which basically also have on the Windsor unit. Now, then I'm talking about the hose. The hose is what we call a stretch hose, but this hose has two identical cuffs. Left and right is the same. What it does for you? Normally you get dirt going up, has to take the curve and has to go in. Now, as the same as you're driving in a car, the speed in curves is going down. Also the same is here, it's going down. No matter what we think about, it's going down. So you would have, and you can have, a tendency of clogging in this side of the hose. Now, how do you clean the hose? Very simple. You take it out, you take this cuff out, you take this cuff out, you just rotate the hose on this way, and you're back into business. Because where is your clog now? It's on this side of the curve. So you switch it on the machine and it will clean out the hose himself. So you have two identical cuffs. Try to do this with a Windsor unit. You can't, because they don't have two identical cuffs. So that is another, let's say, feature this unit has, which you don't have on the Windsor unit. So I talked about the telescopic one. I talked about the cleanability of the hose. Okay. Then we have this accessory storage. Now, it's 3 pieces. Most of the units have 2 pieces, so you have 3 pieces of accessory. Again, you take this out, you don't need to bend. You can just take this and put it on. There's no bending. So, basically, maybe not so in the American market, but in the European market, a lot of things are in ergonomics, and if people are having to repeat every day the same thing, you don't want them to do what we call deep bending and stretching. That's what you're trying to avoid. Okay, so basically the unit, the features of the unit, let's say I already have described. One of the other features of the unit is basically that depending on which Windsor unit you have, the new one has a door on the front, the old has the door on the back. Now, if you have a door on the back, it's always difficult to open it when it sits in a parking position at a cupboard. And why you want to look inside? You want to look inside to see how full is your bag before you take the unit out and to travel around it. Here in this case, you just can open it without anything hanging in your way. You can see, okay, yes, I'm still fine to do my job, and then I can continue. This bag is what we call the top fill bag. So I'm starting to fill it from here, so I really can fill it down, let's say, so I really can take 100% of the capacity of my bag. Plus, I'm deflecting, so if I would have needles and pins, let's say, they don't shoot through the bag because they are catched in this deflection situation. If you now want to try to close the door, you can't. Why not? Because the unit has what we call a finger. paperback finger. And this prevents you of closing the door. Problem with machines are that people don't know how to use machines. That's valid in America, that's valid in Europe, that's valid in China and all those people. Now, what we're trying to do is to give systems that we are protecting the thing for misuse or abuse of machines. Now, one of the things which you don't want in uprights is that they're going to start to vacuum without bags. Because if they do that, the motor is sitting here. So immediately, whatever comes into it, it wants to go into the motor. In this case, it will not go directly into the motor, but still you don't want to have this kind of, because these units are difficult to clean out again. So that's why we make a system that you cannot close the door without having a bag inside. That's this finger is doing that for you. Okay, so this is the bag situation, motor situation with the unit. Now, if I do this, where will the unit want to go? The unit wants to go not falling backwards, but the unit wants to go moving forward. If you do this as a test with the unit, you can see if there is enough center balance on the floor where you need to have it. Because where you want to have the weight? You want to have the weight on the carpet. You don't want to have the weight in the back. Number one, you don't want to have the tip over. And number two, you just want to have it working for you. So that means that with the friction on your carpet, the unit wants to lift. Now, so we have given it what we call central weight into the front of the unit. How we have done that? We have done that by making one solid piece of steel going through the brush roll. That's where the center of your working is. There is a solid metal piece into it. And then we have two sealed ball bearings at the side. So that reduces the vibration and it gives you the maximum load onto your floor. Now, a detachable quart has a lot of advantage, but also has a disadvantage. The disadvantage is that the machine, how it comes, let's say, we are dependent and on the mercy if people are locking the cable in. Because if you don't lock the cable in, you get what we call arcing. So that this connector can move into the socket. You don't want that. Because there is always, again, there is not the ideal thing. You have to give up something to gain something. We are gaining low maintenance costs. We are gaining easy service of the unit. We are gaining that you know it's a quart related problem. But, let's say, we have to teach the customer that this is an important feature, that the quart hook is locked in. Otherwise you get this kind of movement, which we don't want to have in that clip. Operating the unit is just basically like this. What will now be happening is that we have a brush roll moving and a vac motor. You have the green light now over there, green light over there. This is what we call the position, how to work. You see the red light blinking. This means that there is not enough friction. Red light blinking is not enough friction. So there can be two reasons. Wrong height for wrong carpet, or the strip is gone. Not enough contact to the floor. So you are warned that the people are vacuum, but they are not really vacuum, because with an upright you really want to brush the carpet. If the brush strip is gone, how you know that? Who is going to tell you that? Nobody. That light is going to tell you that. Blinking light means something is not okay. So that's the sensing of the friction to the floor. So for the rest, let's say again, the unit is constructed as a modular unit, modular replacement unit. Because I'm saying already the quart is 70 to 80% of the issues, but there can be other issues with the unit. So this unit you can separate by turning these two screws without screwdrivers, because there are some countries, if as soon as you need to have what we call tools, there are a requirement that you have to call somebody. You don't want that because the bill goes up. So you don't want to call anybody. If you can do it yourself, you do it yourself, or you instruct your customers that they are able to do it themselves. So you can do this by hand. You can remove, so it means that you can take an upper body and you can take the lower body, let's say. We call this a rabbit modular replacement system. So you have basically a box with a brush unit, you have a box with a vacuum unit, you have a box with a handle, and you have a box with a hose, and you have a box with a wand. That's it. That's number one of the spares with this unit. You just swap them with customers. You're using logistical services to do the job. You don't do the driving, because driving can take a lot of time, let's say, and cost a lot of money. You use other people to do the driving. They're called FedEx, DHL, all these kind of people. They do the driving for you. You're having modular replacement systems. It's boxed, and we call this a kit, a rapid replacement kit. It has a label, has a picture on it, and you just send it out. Let's say that's it. And you let other people do the job. There is no technical thing needed if you talk about rapid replacement systems. Only when you start to open things up and you have screws, then people, oh, where is this screw coming from? Where is that wire coming from? So you want to leave that moment as long away as possible. I'm not saying that you can leave it away all the time, because then I would be lying. But you can keep it away a long time by the quart, rapid replacement, and then the rest of the systems, rapid replacement. And that's basically how you can give this unit a very low maintenance and operating cost to your customer. The best way of comparing weight is this, what we call handle weight. Now, people talking about product weight, not a lot of people are talking about handle weight, but there is only one good measurement. It's handle weight, and handle weight with a 50% filled paper bag. We all know the story about the Auric lightweight, 8 pounds. It's a very nice story if the unit is empty. Very nice story. But do you want to have an empty unit? I don't, because I buy a unit to clean. So I buy a unit to fill the paper bag. If you do this same, what we call finger test with an Auric unit, 50% filled, 70% filled, 90% filled. Take a scale, hang it down, and take the weight. You will be amazed. What percentage you still have left over? You think of the gain of starting with 8 pounds or starting with, I think this is in pounds, around, what it is, 20. What is the guess?
24 pounds filled up.
This unit, yeah, it depends a little bit on the dirt. Let's say you are gaining around, let's say, 6 pounds to 7 pounds in dirt, but it doesn't translate to an increase of the handle weight. Handle weight is only increasing, let's say, with 10%.
No kidding.
No kidding. If you do the same with an Auric, you get the whole weight in your hand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The whole weight, because there is no weight in the handle.
Exactly.
It's a textile bag, but this textile bag is going to go out of the window because now the weight is coming in. What is that called? It's dirt. That comes in. So it's a psychological game. People say lightweight, and people are judging lightweight by this. Oh, heavy. Oh, lightweight. But we say, oh, stop. Handle weight is the key. That's what we're talking about. Unless you're carrying upstairs. But how many commercial buildings you need to carry upstairs? Correct. People are not doing that. People are lazy. Come on, they are not carrying things up the stairs, let's say. They are just taking an elevator. Even if they wait 10 minutes, they are going to do that. Now, that's why wheeling of units is important. Try to wheel an Auric. Try to wheel an Auric. You don't. You have to carry that thing, including the dirt into the bag. So what is now the lightweight? Lightweight is gone.
It's superior technology, except you're going to have one hell of a better price point. So I really...
What's the warranty?
2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
We
We all
were.
know you're not going to nickel and dime, so you'll be able to make it right for the people you need.
So it's a 2-year warranty on the unit, and
We're making a huge commitment on this partnership. It's been a long time in the making, and I think this is going to be a real door burner. So we'll be back in 10 minutes, guys. Thank you, Frank.
Okay, welcome.